with Google Cloud Platform. It is available on Amazon and couple of other websites. Okay, I am right now associated with Microsoft as a part of data and AI practice. Initially, before that, I was working with KPMG, HSBC, and couple of other organizations. I was there in the US and then came back to India. Uh, I have worked on multiple means I so my day one started from the data itself. So I have extensively worked onto the data platform, multiple different data related technology, which starts from traditional data warehousing, big data, cloud, AI, and all those machine learning and all those technologies, right? So I'm very much passionate about learning and sharing the knowledge, and that's where you will see and you will find me in multiple different webinars or tech talks. I have conducted, as Ketan said, more than 70 plus of webinars and technical events. I'm a machine learning practitioner. I use machine learning in my day-to-day work. Okay, there is one initiative which is run by Government of India called Mentor for Change under Niti Aayog. I'm also part of that initiative where I go to school bi-weekly. Right now it's pandemic situation, so we do it online. So we conduct couple of sessions for the school, and it is actually governed by Niti Aayog. So as I said, right, other than this, I'm also part of couple of colleges advisory committee. I love to share the knowledge. I am part of upgrad mentorship and SGC program. So I do a lot of those things where I can contribute to the society and try to help in gaining the experience which relates to data. I am available on my email ID, and you can feel free to connect me on LinkedIn. I am highly active on LinkedIn, and I would be very happy to help you, guide you in case any help or anything is required. So with that, I will quickly move on. Before I move on, any questions with respect to my experience, anything which you want to know in detail, I would be happy to answer that. Feel free to post that question. Maybe I can also try to open it. Yeah. So feel free to post any questions if you have. Okay, and I would be very happy to answer it. Cool. So let's go ahead with the agenda. So today's agenda is basically I have not tried to make it what will say very vast, very simple, straightforward thing where we will start with what is AI. I think before we go ahead with that, Ketan sir, can you put that poll onto the screen so that I can understand the participant what will say experience level, what they have done so far in data. So I request you to put that poll quickly onto the screen. Yeah, folks,
Okay,
I
done.
think this would, yeah, so it would be helpful to understand your experience. So I request each one of you to fill this poll quickly. It may not take more than maybe 30 seconds so that I understand that what type of people I'm speaking to, and accordingly it will help me to go into the detailed and integrity of the presentation as well. In the meantime, people are filling up this poll. If you have any questions, anything, you can ping onto the chat and I would be happy to take that. So we have 30 more seconds to fill this questionnaire, poll questions. Feel free to please fill this quickly so that it helps me to understand the group really well. Cool. I think the time is out now. Can we see the response? Okay, I can
Yes,
see out
that
of
is the result.
64. Yeah, I can see it. Project manager is the most highest weightage here. No response is also 16. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. Good to see that people have some experience with data also. Good to know that. So I can see some set of people, which is 18, 11 people who have some experience with data, and few folks have been like working more than 10 years, which is a good sign. Cool. So thanks a lot, folks, for filling up this detail. Okay, but yeah, there are almost 30% of the people who have not filled this poll. So guys, maybe it would be great to participate this discussion or this session. Okay, it would be very, very helpful for each one of you also if you will participate in this discussion. Yeah, so let me quickly go ahead and start. So what we are going to do in this today's session, I hope my screen is visible. Yes, my screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what we are going to discuss in today's session is what is AI. Okay, so our main topic for today would be artificial intelligence. So how AI can be what. So before we go ahead and start that, how AI can be leveraged and can be used into project management. Before that, we wanted to understand that what is AI. Okay, and then part two would be basically what is project management in the IT industry is major change driving AI adoption. Prepare yourself, right? Because everybody is here to understand and try to see that okay, whether as a project manager, which will my job going to get impacted with the new type of technology which is coming in AI. People always say that no, AI will do all the things for human, right? So does there any impact onto the project management? That also we will see. And we will also talk about harness the power of AI and empower your role as issue here.
Murari, I think we have lost. Now it's okay.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so please free to maybe comment Ketan sir and others. Okay, maybe I think there was some temporarily intermittent issue in the internet. Cool. So let's start, right? So when we say AI, what is something which comes into your mind? When we say AI, first let me ask, what is the first thing which you visualize in your mind when we talk about AI? Everybody's response, please, quickly. I'm interested to know about the use case, or when we talk AI, or first thing which comes into your mind when you hear the word called AI or machine learning. Quickly, response onto the chat box, please. And as I told you, let's make it a very, very interactive session. I want each one of you to participate, please. It's my humble request to everyone. So when we hear the word AI, what is the first thing which comes into your mind, please? Data-driven intelligence. Okay, thanks to sir. What else? System which will reduce work of human. Social media showing preference. Okay, automation. Good. What else? Chatbot. Okay. Okay. What else? Robots, okay, a system which can think and decide, okay, automation of the processes, okay, What else? We have, I think, 54 participants, right? I have received only 10 response. Please participate, folks. Okay. Okay. Data-based algorithm. Very good. Fastest decisioning, automation chatbot. Okay. Okay. So I think most of you are aligned. Okay. So AI, as we know, right? AI stands for artificial intelligence, data-based automation intelligence. Good. Okay. So when we say AI, is it a science? Is it a technology, or is it a magic? Okay, people always say that no, uh, we have solved this with AI. Is it a magic, or is it a science, or it is something like which is related to technology? The answer is all three. It's a science, it's a technology also, and it's a magic as well, right? Because you must have seen a couple of interesting use case. Have you? Can anybody maybe give me some background or something like what are the some of the interesting use case you must have seen around you when it comes to AI? There are multiple, okay, specifically into the e-commerce, healthcare, banking sector. You will find a wide variety of use cases being implemented on AI. But anything on top of your mind? Just anybody? COVID test using AI, okay. Natural language processing, good. Okay, NLP. One of the very Ketan sir has put one of the very interesting thing which is COVID test using AI, right? So which is one of the most promising thing which was going on when we were running into the pandemic. What else we have seen as part of AI? AI is used in almost everywhere. Okay, so the medicine or the vaccine which we have built, right? Recommendation engine, very good. Facebook showing shopping advertisement of our preference, very good. Okay, so yeah, all these are very interesting use cases of AI. Okay, so yeah, AI cell phone technology. Okay, running status of bus and train. Running status of bus and train, good, but yeah, it may not be just a AI thing. Okay, so is AI a magic? So see what you do, right? When you artificial intelligence is a science, okay, and a technology to create magic. Okay, so so you generally whenever you do what I'll say, you generally go to your office and then you use Google Map, right? So how does Google Map is showing you that how much? I think can somebody go on mute? I am getting the background noise, please, if you don't mind. Yeah. So uh, yeah, PMI. I don't know who has logged in from PMI. They need to go on mute, please. Yeah. Cool. So when you go to office, right, with the help of Google Map, right, you generally see that how much time you take to work, right, or how much time you basically the ETA, okay, to reach to your final destination, right? How it is coming? Finally, there is something. Let me mute. Ketan sir, can you mute PMI, please?
Yeah, one. Just give me a minute. I'll do
Yeah, sure. So so basically artificial intelligence, as I was saying, right, it's nothing, it's nothing. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to use science and technology to create the music, to create the magic. Okay, so couple of interesting AI use case you must have seen, right, which is like using Google Map. You generally see how much time it is going to take to you to reach to the office or to the final destinations. All those things are coming through AI. One of the very good example, I think somebody has given is recommendation selling, right? So you go ahead onto the Amazon.com, you purchase something, consider you purchase a mobile there, and then after purchasing your mobile, you get some recommendation that okay, these are the few products you can certainly look for, and some consider if you have purchased mobile, right? Automatically you get something which is like screen guard or mobile cover as a recommendation. How all those things are being driven? In the background, there is something called as AI or machine learning, which is generating that insight for the company. And with that, they are doing the cross selling of the product to increase their sale, right? One of the very powerful recommendation engine is owned by Amazon. Okay, so definition of AI, if I'll go right, it starts with perceiving the things, right? So you start with giving that input to the AI engine. Okay, that's where the perseverance starts, and then you give the reason that okay, what you want to basically define. So when I say reason, basically you define a problem. Okay, you define the actual problem which you want to solve, and then your AI engine will learn that problem with whatever perceive whatever the internal or incoming data that has been received. It will try to learn and then finally act on that problem. Okay, so I just try to make it very simple and straightforward. Okay, may not be very what to say technology specific. So if I talk about AI, I should understand that it has some input, it has some reason or some problem statement to solve, followed by some learning, and then finally the act part of it, which is like delivering the output. Okay, any questions till now? No. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. Okay, so here you can see, right, artificial intelligence again is basically, so you can see three buckets here: deep learning, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is nothing but a superset. It's a bigger umbrella for all type of perception, logic, and learning. Whereas machine learning is basically very dominating or very, what to say, specific around the algorithm. Okay, where you get to learn from the data and then do some prediction or some decision or something like that, right? Deep learning is again, what will say, a very niche area which works onto the very close of humans. So generally ANN, like neural network and all those type of things falls under deep learning. Okay, so deep learning is something where we want to replace human thinking. That's where we go ahead with deep learning. Okay, going ahead. So another definition. So I just wanted to capture another view of AI. AI is nothing but ability of a computer. So finally, it's nothing but a computer, right? So what we are trying to do with AI is nothing but trying to perform certain tasks through intelligence, right? So we have trained the system, we will train the computer, we will train the system so that they can do some intelligence at their own. Okay, and that intelligence comes from what? It comes from learning and adaptation. Okay, it comes from the past experience. Okay, so certainly you need to give some data set of the past. Okay, and based on that, it will capture that information, try to process internally, and will have the ability to make the decision based on that past data set. Okay, it will also allow, okay, AI also have a ability to understand and speak the natural language. uh, so AI system also have a ability to speak or maybe translate that speaking into a NLP. Okay, so NLP is again very powerful, which is natural language processing, and I have like I will have some demo to show you what is NLP and what is vision. Okay, so there are a couple of ready-made APIs or bots available in the market to do all these NLPs and chatbot and all those things, right? So I have some experiment or something to show at the end of this session on NLP as well as vision API. So I hope the definition of AI is very clear in each one of you. AI is nothing but a type of science and technology which help people to automate couple of things. It helps them to make the decision based on past experience. It help you to do the automation. It help you to predict the thing. It help you to decision making. It help you to what will say find the risk. Okay, it help you to take the, what will say, corrective actions. So there are multiple things you can do with the help of AI. Okay, and this AI is hence with these features whatever I just talked about, right, is so all these features are very widely popular and widely used when it comes to project management, right? So in project management also you want to understand and predict that what is going to happen in future, right? How we want to save the risk, right? How we want to plan my what will say project, okay, how I want to do the resource forecasting, how I want to track my task, right? All those things is something which is required as part of project management, and AI plays a very, very important role on all those tasks. Any questions before we go ahead, please? Guys, I request your participation once again, please. Feel free to ask as much as questions possible, okay? And as I said, I would be very, very happy to answer those.
Right now, no questions.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So let me go ahead. Okay, some background about AI. So it is not that something it has started very recently. Okay, it is being practiced since almost more than 50 years ago. Okay, so the first the term first created somewhere in 1956. Okay, it is almost, I would say, more than 60 years ago. Difference between machine learning and AI. Okay, very good, Sasank sir. So machine learning is a part of AI. AI is a superset. AI can do multiple more things, and machine learning is specifically for prediction and what will say. So I would say it's like a subset and superset, right? So AI is like a building, and machine learning is one of the flat in that building. Okay, so AI is a bigger umbrella, and machine learning is a one component of AI. Okay, so it is specifically designed for some disease. So in machine learning, there are two type of what will say algorithm generally which we go for: supervised and unsupervised. However, AI will also consist of deep learning and a couple of other advanced technology like ANN and all those. Cool. I have answered this question. Any other question? Anything? Anyone? So Sasank sir, I hope I was able to answer your question. Cool. So what I was talking about is AI is it's not a very new word, or but maybe in recent day it's a buzzword, I would certainly say. Okay, but it has been started somewhere in 1956. Okay, the first use case. Okay, and the first published book or first a reference which has published which relates to AI was in 1992, and still this textbook is being used in MIT College. Okay.
Hello,
Uh,
hello.
yes.
No, no, sorry, sorry. Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So why AI is so popular into the market right now? You will see there are lot many jobs. Everybody is talking about AI. Why people are tending or going towards AI at a super pace? What is something different in that, right? So there are a couple of reasons. Okay, why AI is being so prominent. Okay. Uh, One of the important reason is advancement in technology. Okay, so initially when AI came, right, it was basically most of the time it was conceptual, right? So you can see 1989, right, when we want to have the stereo control, right, we have something like this type of graph or chart to view the speeds and all those things. Now with advancement of the technology, right, there's so much advancement in many of the technology. We have what will say proper steer control display, and we can have multiple, like this is one of the example, right? But we have seen the technology moved from where to where, right? So now initially people were not sure that how they want to use the data, right? Now with the help of that data, they are trying to maybe do multiple more things, right? They rather than what will say you understand yourself very well, your data or the data which is captured by Google or Gmail or Facebook, they understand you very well, right? They understand that what you want to see, what you want to purchase, all those sentiments, all those things is being captured, analyzed, right? So this is the power of the technology. Okay, there is so much advancement into the technology which is getting or leading to the birth of AI. Okay, because people want to what will say use the data to maximum possible extent. They try to what will say automate the things to maximum way possible, right? People are trying to tend toward the luxury. They do not want to do the things at their own, rather they want to use machines to do those things. And hence all this advancement into the technology is getting the birth of AI. Okay, another thing is basically computing power. Initially, when we started, right, there was some supercomputer and all those things. Now we get more. So right now, like last week, I purchased one laptop. Right, the laptop size was so small, and it has like 1 TB of SSD. Initially, when like when I started studying about a computer, I have seen that there was a big room where that 2 GB of RAM was being installed. Okay, now you will get a single slot, like small size of what is a chip, which can help you to increase your RAM, ROM, or your memory, right? So in 1980s, you had something like a three craze supercomputer type of thing, okay, where the computing power was limited. The people were not able to get so much of computing power, right? But with the advancement of the computing power, right, which is exponentially has grown into the market, you will see like one of the example which I have put over here is iPhone 7, right? Which has like more than 80 carries, okay, of what I'll say, computing power, okay? Like your small phone is now being treated as a very powerful device, right? As far as computing power goes. So I remember still when the Nokia 3310 came, right? It has a small screen. We used to play some games there, right? And sometimes the mobile used to get hanged, right? Now with the advancement of the technology, now we have smartphone where we can do n number of things in parallel, right? How all those things are possible? Because of the advancement into the computing power. Okay, initially, like when, if you remember, right, with this advancement into the computing, right, we had something called as Gary Karpov, if you remember, right? So he has defeated the computer in 1997, and that was one of the biggest, what will say, news at that time. No anybody can go and defeat that computer by maybe putting some cheat code and all those like thing, right? So with that, and you will see that AI is very close to your life now. Okay, it is a part of your life. You will not realize even that, okay, you are into the complete machine world now. Okay, couple of things which you are going to see is self-driving car, robots, medical industries, as already I think Ketan has said, right? There are multiple use case of AI in medical industry, something like COVID test or some cancer treatment and multiple more things, right? And in manufacturing industries also, like I'm working on one of the project where we are trying to find out the predictive maintenance of the machines. Okay, so with the help of AI and machine learning, we are capturing the data from IoT device and trying to predict that what could be the occurrence and what could be the what will say maintenance which we foresee as far as machine maintenance or machine automation and machine productivity and efficiency is considered. So let me just give one of the very good use case which I have implemented in my past experience which relates to AI. I hope I am audible and people who is finding this use case are very means people are very keen and yes, I hope I'm audible loud and clear. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Cool. So, any questions before I go and give one or two very interesting use case of machine learning and AI, which I have implemented in my past experience? Okay, cool.
Just
So,
give me,
yeah.
Mr. Murari, 1 minute. I
Uh-huh.
think there is some question. Can AI predict whether a student of class 2 will be able to crack IIM CAT exam?
Very good question, definitely. So, can AI predict? Yes, AI can predict that, right? But there would be some different type of algorithm which you might need to develop based on to the different variables. But yeah, definitely AI can predict that part also. So AI is nothing but something like you are automating the thing. So you are trying the machine. So whatever human is thinking, you are trying to put that into a programming onto a, or maybe to a technology, right? So you must need to give some data, some insights to your machine learning algorithm. Okay, based on that, it can learn that pattern that, okay, out of 200 students which are in class 2, maybe 5 was able to crack the IAM exam, and based on that pattern, you can go ahead and give the required data set, or maybe you can go for reinforcement type of learning also here, where you do not need a what is it test or training data set. Rather, you can directly go and start developing the model, and as and when the data comes, it can predict or it can guess that whether the class 2 student can clear the IAM or CAT or IIT exams. Okay, so definitely it can be possible. Okay, but yeah, it might need a different type of algorithm to go ahead with that. I cannot find that question. Where you can see that, sir? Because I have chat in front of my
It
screen.
was in QA. It is in Q&A part.
Okay, 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 sure.
Okay, there is
Any?
one more question. I think by the same gentleman, Mr. Panda.
Mhm.
He is asking, can AI predict how long a person will live on this earth?
See, so yeah, again, this is possible, and this is already implemented in couple of what I'll say use cases. Definitely, this is something which is a common use case. I would not say it's a very. So the first was a maybe a uncommon use case where a class 2 student can crack IAM or IIT exams. It was something uncommon, but how much is a life of a human in the earth can be easily predicted. Okay, because there are multiple different parameters also which you need to consider, and it can be easily predicted, and there are so many what will say already developed algorithm which is there in the industry which are doing this. So most of the company, right, insurance company, Mr. Panda, okay, they are using this model to predict human life. Okay, so that's where they ask, right, that do you have BP, do you have sugar, and all those, and based on that, they have some internal algorithm or internal machine learning engine, which gives some age, some what will say, some predicted age of a human, and based on that, your premium of the insurance is being calculated. Okay,
Thanks. I think that's all. And
okay,
I think there is
can
one comment, not a question, but a comment by Mr. Krishnan saying that
mhm.
quality of data is important, isn't it? If data is incomplete or wrong, the output will be garbage.
Definitely. So there is something word called as outlier. Okay, when we talk about machine learning. Okay, so if your quality of the data is not good, right, your model accuracy would not be good. And if your model accuracy is not good, right, then definitely it will not perform as per the expectation. So the data quality is very important aspect when it comes to machine learning. Okay, so until and unless if your data is not good, your accuracy will not be appropriate and the prediction may also get impacted. Harish Maya said Harish sir has a question that can AI predict natural disaster accurately? Yes, and you must have seen couple of implementation of AI nowadays recently, like Odisha cyclone and Mumbai cyclone. It was well predicted by the AI models, and then we were able to what will say uh, prepare accordingly with the type of what will say warning which has been coming out of that AI model. Okay, prediction will go wrong if data is not correct. See, prediction may not go wrong. Okay, it would be accuracy. So maybe your accuracy may not be 100%. Okay, so right now maybe, so see what happens when you train your model, right, you train it with a training data, and then when the actual data comes in, generally you see a decline into the accuracy of the model, definitely, because you are training with some test data, and then in actual there could be some different type of data. Okay, so it may not be 100%, I would say prediction may go wrong, but yeah, there could be impact of the accuracy of the model depending on what quality of data you are being treated. So AI, okay, so how when we go ahead and implement AI. So before AI, there are two, three steps. We start with the data ingestion. So so data ingestion is a process where you capture the data and then you go ahead and transform the data. So while doing that transformation, you can take care of the data quality and all those steps. Okay, so that when you feed the data to the machine learning engine, you are feeding accurate data. Okay, so all those data quality checks, data governance, metadata validation, all those things would be generally taken care as a part of data engineering activity or data cleaning activity before we feed that data to machine learning. Hence, data quality may not be like what will say concern at that moment, because we feel that data is almost 80 to 90% cleaned before it has been given to a model. Okay, so that way we generally save some anonymous data. Cool. Any other question? Thanks a lot for being what to say attentive and asking so many questions. Really appreciate
Yeah.
it.
I think there's one more question. How AI can predict in project? Do we need to put project plan as input? Is it
Yeah, so
getting
we
linked with Microsoft project? That is a
yeah
full question.
yeah so we will discuss that. That is the second part which will be going into. Okay,
Okay.
definitely. There are multiple tools directly available for AI, right? So which can help you in project management. Even you can feed some of the tools which allow you to feed MS projects also into their system, and based on that they can highlight the risk and all those things, right? But yeah, we will discuss in a second section, or maybe we will start with that now. Any other questions?
No, nothing right now. I think we can go ahead with your session right now.
Yeah, so quickly, I will just give you one of the use case which I have implemented. Okay, so everybody has heard about Starbucks, right? I hope everybody has heard about uh, so I hope everybody has heard about Starbucks, right? So Starbucks is a well-known coffee chain, or I would say the what will say cold or hot beverages shops across the globe. So I was engaged into one of the project for Starbucks. So when you go into Starbucks, right, you stand in a queue before placing your order, right? And generally you spend some maybe 2 3 minutes in the queue. So what they have done is, when in I am talking about in the US, when you enter into the queue, there are tabs placed in front of you where you can place the order to save the time, correct? Rather than going to the counter and placing your order, uh, so rather than going and placing your order to the counter, you can go ahead and place your order onto the tab which is in front of you when you are standing into the queue. So what we have done, right? Depending on the, so consider when you go into the tab, there are menu, right? So menu page one, menu page two, menu page three, right? Something like that. And you want to go and maybe buy a coffee. Okay. And that is in menu, consider page number 7. Okay. So you need to scroll 6th page and then go to the 7th page to order a coffee. So what we have done is, based on to the time spent in each page, we understand the what to say preference of the user. So consider page one is, or maybe menu page one is for sandwich. You have not seen, you just scrolled it in a 2 seconds. But for page two, you have spent maybe 5 seconds of time because it was something maybe burger, which you are not keen to buy, but yeah, you spent maybe 5 seconds. And other page you have just spent 2 seconds. So what happened? We captured that data and used AI and machine learning on top of that to find out that, okay, what, so maybe Murari has placed a coffee order. So he spent 10 seconds on that page number 7. However, he spent 5 seconds on another page, which was specifically for burger. So that means he is also interested to buy a burger. Okay, so when he will go and reach to the counter to pick his coffee and pay for the coffee, the the person onto the counter, the sales girl or sales boy, will say that, sir, you have I think you have purchased a coffee. Thank you for that. But I think you are also interested to buy a burger, and we are offering you 30% discount if you want to go ahead and buy a burger. So see, what we have done, we have captured that data in real time, analyzed it, processed it, and applied machine learning on top of that, so that we can have one prospect who was just looking for some product and being converted into a customer. Okay, so that way, like if you are getting a 30% discount, definitely you will go and try to buy for it, even though if you are like 50% interested, right? So that's where we have implemented this using the technology of Azure here, end to end. And then this project was very, very successful, and it helped you to grow 60% of the revenue of Starbucks. Okay, I hope you have followed this example and this use case, and it was quite interesting. So based on the time spent on each page, we have calculated the what will say score of a preference of a customer, and depending on that, we have offered them the different product, and by offering some discount. Okay, so this was one of the very nice use case which we have implemented as a part of our project. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to see what is so we discussed, right, machine learning and deep learning, right? So they are the component of AI, as I told initially also. Machine learning is nothing but it's the ability uh, of the computer to learn themselves. So what you do is you train that machine using some data set, and then you basically feed some data set which is the actual data set, and try to understand and try to get that input from that machine. Okay, so it understands. So basically you have trained a machine with some training data set, and then you push the actual data set, and based on that training data set, machine learning will give you a output. The second part is deep learning. As I told you, deep learning is very close to how does the human cell works, right? So something which we call it as neuron, right? So deep learning is based on to the neuron, which relates to the concept of ANN, which is artificial neural network, right? So it's basically try to understand that how the things would work like as a human. Okay, so deep learning is trying to replace human thinking, and there are a couple of research going on whether it can do it a complete what will say automation things there. Okay, uh, in artificial intelligence, okay, it's there are a couple of technology or tools which are very popular, which is basically used. Okay, so what is we call it as KBES, knowledge based expert system. So if then else, like if this is the scenario, what will be the output, right? Artificial neural network, genetic algorithm, and fuzzy logic. So these are the main tools and technology used during the what will say artificial intelligence, when we go ahead and develop and try to use or leverage the AI into our actual environment. Okay, so these are the four tools and techniques generally we use in order to implement AI. Okay, any questions before we go ahead? Otherwise, we can take maybe sir 5 minutes or 10 minutes break. It's already 10:50.
I think there are a couple of questions in the chat window.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Can AI help project manager in logical reasoning?
So see, logical reasoning is something which is ANN, right? So as I told you, right, AI may not replace the human. Okay. However, it can help you to what will say, give some preference, give some prediction, give some added advantage. Okay. It may not completely give you the logical reasoning, but yeah, it can help you to enable that definitely. Okay. So you can take a decision based on to the data which is coming from the model. Okay, so
Okay.
it will enable you, or it will what will say allow you to take that final decision as far as logical reasoning is concerned. Okay, any other questions we have? Mumbai
Yeah.
cyclone was predicted.
There's another one which is will it follow both Agile and Waterfall methodology?
So see, with AI in Agile is little controversy. Okay, so still like even we are working on to the Agile methodology, but generally what has been called out is AI may not be, AI projects are not maybe designed in an Agile fashion. Okay, still you can go with Kanban and all those. Okay, because you don't know what type of training and all those things are required. But it was maybe I will say 2 year down the line, and now I have seen multiple projects are of AI is following the Agile. But there is still what will say debate around it, that whether AI projects can be implemented via Agile methodology or not. But 60 to 70% of the project are not tending towards AI projects, tending towards Agile methodology, and there are still many more projects which are still being followed onto the waterfall. Okay, but yeah, the use case of Agile implementation or Agile methodology for AI projects are still little controversy, because I was in one of the debate when I was working with HSBC, and our what will say project management team was very reluctant to implement agile way of working for AI project. Any other questions,
Okay.
sir?
Yeah. There are two more. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
One is how to train the bot for deep learning and how you get the data for that.
Okay, so see again, it's a technology specific thing, right? So you can, so a bot is nothing but your NLP, right? Natural language processing. So you need to feed some test data, some training data, and again, your bot need to be very, very particular, right? So you must have seen, I was going through one of the tweet, right? So one people has given a sarcastic comment that thanks Indigo for sending my luggage to Hyderabad and taking me to Bangalore. Okay, so he is putting it a sarcastic way that his luggage should be in Hyderabad, but by mistake that luggage has gone to Bangalore. But since NLP was not matured enough to understand that sarcasm, what they did is they have put it automated. So there would be automated bot, right, who will respond to that tweet. And they said, thank you for your feedback. We are really happy to consider you again. Okay, so it was something like sarcasm, but the bot did not understand, right? So to answer your question, yeah, you need to follow a proper, what will say, way of training that NLP model into deep learning or whatever way you want. And depending on that, you can get the desired outcome. Okay, so NLP bots end to end, it's very, very means you always will see some user intervention or some predefined question. Very, very rare you will see a bots which are completely 100% automated. Okay, I think any other questions? Otherwise, in chat,
Yeah,
I can see some question coming
yeah,
through
yeah.
there.
There are two, three questions.
Hmm.
One is which are AI-based tools available to help project managers to improve effectiveness and productivity?
Yes, so I have that tool's name in my last slide. Okay, I will certainly talk about those tools which has AI component to it. So we have that in one of the slides. So all the tools name.
Okay. One more. How non-technical and technical person can grow into AI project management?
So see, project management is something is a very very niche. What I'll say, which is one of the required thing, right? AI is something like a technology, right? So you can combine both to grow into that space. So if you want to go into AI project management, definitely you can leverage couple of tools which are there into the market, get some basic understanding of AI, how to automate the things, how to predict the risk, okay, how to maybe plan the things better. Okay, and there are multiple tools available into the market. So maybe if you will get the hands-on experience working on those tools also, it would be easy to integrate your project management experience with AI technology.
Okay. There are two
However,
questions by Mr. Krishnan.
mhm.
How about consent of customers to get their data for usage for data analytics? This is in context recent debates on big tech misusing data.
Correct. So see
And
what
second,
happens.
one minute, I'll just
Mhm.
complete the second question also. Second question, how do you government regulations catching up on AI?
Okay, so let me answer the first question, right? So whenever you feel your customer detail, right, anywhere, any online or anything, there's an option that do you want to say it to the external agency, yes or no? And depending on that, company generally take care of your data. Okay, so there are some PII type of data, some sensitive data, which is basically governed by the organization internally, and they do not share that data. Okay, so there are different type of rules, regulations across different countries to save those PII data. Okay, so but yeah, there are some what will say some error which you have seen recently where the data has been theft from the organization, but internally they maintain some type of what will say data compliance, data security policy to save the PII data or customer information. How does the government regulation catching up on AI? Yes, there are multiple different regulation which is coming in order to govern the AI and try to, at least I'm not seeing in India, but UK and US have implemented couple of rules that you can go, maybe you need to adhere to this type of policies when it comes to AI with respect to the customer sensitive data. So yeah, there are rules, there are governance, there are data security policy, there are data governance policy across different type of data which relates to data analytics and which relates to AI. Yes, sir. Cool. So, any other questions, sir, or do we want to take
No,
a
no,
break?
I think that's all. I think we can take a break right now.
Yeah, so let's take only 5 minute break. Okay, 5 to 7 minute break. I think it's 10:58.
Yes.
We can continue
Okay.
11 at 11:05 or 11:07.
Sure, yes. So we'll again resume at 11:05. Okay.
Yes, and then guys,
It's
feel free to
10:58.
ping any questions if it is coming into your mind. Feel free to ping your questions, and once we'll come back, we'll Miss I would be able to answer those questions. I hope I am able to match your expectation as far as this session is concerned. If you have any input you want to cover anything extra, feel free to give that input also, so that I can change it accordingly.
Uh, I think, yeah, thanks, Mr. Murari. I'll just take presentation control from you. I need
Yeah,
to run one slide,
sure.
okay? And then again, I will make you a presenter, right?
No problem, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, I'm back. Whenever we want to start, we can get started.
Sure, sure. We'll start in another 1 minute.
Sure. In the meantime, if Sasikant sir is there, I would like to take his question. So Sasikant sir, you are asking what are the three major challenges, pitfall you face as a PM of a AI project? Okay. What is the rule of thumb or approach to be used to resolve those challenges? Okay. Okay. So see, uh, three challenges we will talk about, right? First is the data quality or outliers. Okay, so we need to and maybe first thing I would so see what happens. Maybe couple of industries are not very sure about how they want to leverage AI. Okay, what is the output they are looking for as part of AI model. So defining that vision, defining that goal is very important. Otherwise, what will happen? They always keeps on changing the roadmap of their implementation which is related to technology. So defining the AI roadmap, defining the project scope, defining the project vision, or defining the actual outcome is very important whenever you start any AI project. Because what happens as and when they discover new thing, they want to add those scopes also into the project. So the better practice is to freeze that complete scope definition of done, defining the target outcome and all those as part of the requirement gathering. The second thing is the data quality or data governance, right? So which I think Krishnan sir also talked about. So always measure what type of data quality or data sourcing we are talking about, whether the data which we are getting as an input is good enough from quality point of view. Okay, there is any pitfall into the data. So all those things need to be understand beforehand before starting or kicking off any AI project. The last thing is about the data governance, right? So consider if we are talking about some PII data, right? So data compliance policy. So how does that PII data would be controlled during this implementation of machine learning and AI? So basically, uh, two things is very important when it comes to AI project: data security and data governance, which is very specific and being called out and being need to be taken care when you talk about the AI project. Okay, what I will do is I will quickly go ahead and start sharing my screen once again. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So so what we say is basically going forward data. I don't know why this is not going. Yeah. So AI would be the new IT or new technology which people will go for. So I request each and everyone who is there on the call at least go through the basics of AI or data, because that is something which is future. Data is going to become our main asset. So you must have seen multiple when it comes to what will say web development or any other project, getting the funding is very difficult. But when it comes to data or BI or analytics project, funding is very easy to get, right? Because all the organizations are investing a lot as far as data is concerned. Okay, so it is a time to invest in this technology. Everybody is investing. So in current pandemic, certainly you will see there are two type of investment companies are doing heavily. One is onto the cloud and second one is onto the data. So maybe Ketan sir, if you want, I can also talk on one of the session about cloud also, if you will allow me. So I have great experience working on cloud, so we can take one session on cloud technology as well. Okay, so these are the two technology which companies are investing a lot. Okay, and they are seeing a major change in driving the adoption. Okay, so what is in project management? Okay, so artificial with AI with respect to project management is something like, so somebody has asked me about the tools, right? So there are multiple tools which are being leveraged as far as project management with AI is concerned. Chatbots, straight jaws, okay, Givebox, Rescoper, ClickUp, Clezen, and Polyone are basically some of the tools which help project manager to handle the different tasks. Okay, uh, these also help you to defining and assigning the roles and responsibilities. So basically, with respect to AI, you can find out that who is that guy whom I want to allocate this task. Okay, so depending on that, you can basically, depending on how he has performed into the past with respect to different tasks, you will find the actual guy and assign that the roles and responsibility to him. Okay, it is also, AI tools are very helpful when it comes to timelines, deadlines, managing it end to end. Okay, so there are multiple tools like as we talked about, right? State jobs. State jobs is very good. I hope everybody has heard about Slack, right? So StatJaws integrate very well with Slack, and we are using in one of our project. So it will ask you about the status of your ticket, which is there in Jira, which you are working on. So before 10 a.m. in the morning, you need to, rather than going through the Scrum call, basically we just need to put the status of our Jira ticket in that bot, and automatically it will take that status and update the Jira ticket. So you need to put uh, what you are working on, what you will be working on, and any impediments. So these are the three status you need to put, and accordingly it will be pulled from that Slack channel and push it onto the Jira. And that's where Slack JAWS is very powerful, and we are leveraging it in one of our project as well. Okay, there are other different, multiple different benefits also which you can use from what will say artificial intelligence using AI. Okay, couple of them is basically here. What are the impacts of AI on project management? So as I told you, check resource availability or resource matching. Okay, so you will be able to find out like who is the Sachin Tendulkar in your team. Okay, and if it is a difficult task, which one you want to allocate him. Okay, so very powerful use case of AI here. Assigning the task and task prioritization can also be done through AI easily. It helps you to provide real-time reporting. So it is again one of the use case. Cost reduction. How it help you for the cost reduction is whatever is a repetitive task, right? You can just create a bot or you can automate those tasks using AI, and then that's where you will save a lot of cost. So I should put cost reduction as one of the benefit or impact of AI on project management. Predictive analytics, it gives you to find out that okay how your project would be behaving, so you can predict upcoming events as far as project management is concerned. Okay, you can get the actionable insights also. You can eliminate repetitive administrative tasks in order to save the cost. You can enhance the visibility of early risk date. So maybe you are trying to face one risk after 2 months, but using AI, and if you have defined your task properly, you will be able to detect that risk quite early into your phase. It helps you to interpret the project management data, and it gives you a better and effective analysis and prediction as far as AI is concerned. Okay, what are the different techniques generally used in project planning as far as AI is concerned? So KBES, which I talked about, knowledge based experiment. What was the name? Knowledge-based expert system is basically used here to estimate the duration and resource requirement, okay, based on to the knowledge, expert knowledge. So ANN is another way to automate the sequencing of project activity, right? GA, which is like, what was that? I missed the full form. Genetic algorithm is basically help you to optimize the schedule of the what will say construction of the project activity in order to minimize the total cost. And fuzzy logic is basically to define the priorities, that okay, what are the different process you want to, and these are the four steps or four processes which are widely used in project planning as far as AI is concerned. Okay. AI in cost estimation. So generally we use ANN and fuzzy logic here when it comes to cost estimation. Okay, it help you to give what to say estimation and suitable markup basically. It helps you to predict the cost over. Okay, so it can means whatever contractor you have selected, what is the competency of the project management, type of the project contract, and all those. It will help you to do that cost estimation. Okay, and basically fuzzy logic is being used here for cost time trade-off and construction project. Uh, as I told you that AI will also help you in risk management when it comes to project management. So these are the another different techniques which are widely used as far as risk management within project management is considered. ANN is basically used to estimate the probability of occurrence for the project risk. Okay, then ANN and fuzzy logic is basically to assess the risk in what will say model productivity and distribution. So these are the different techniques basically used as far as your project management cycles with respect to project planning, cost estimation, risk management, and performance management is considered. Okay, and these are widely popular and highly effective uh, during the actual execution of the project. Okay, and there are definitely tools in the market which are available which can help you to do these activities readily. Okay, uh, we also discussed about like already we already have discussed, but AI can be and can be used for several projects. Okay, because it allows you the better project performance. Okay, so so as we discussed, right, so remember these 11 features. Okay, what are the benefits, what are the important impact of AI on project management? Just remember this, and you do not need to do anything explicitly here. There are tools available into the market which help you to do this type of activity which leads to AI. Okay, and we will talk about couple of tools here. Okay, so AI can be and has been used in several applications in project management, enabling better performance. AI can make the life of project manager very, very easy. Okay. Otherwise, when it comes to project management, there are so many things to track, right? And it makes the life miserable when it comes to project management life, right? So with AI, you can certainly help to automate couple of things, which will save your effort and your time, and you can utilize that time in some other aspect. Okay, so AI can be your friend. Okay, but it cannot be your replacement. Okay, so you cannot. It's not that AI can replace you. Okay, AI can help you on assistance, continuously identifying the pattern, outliers, making data-driven recommendation and decision, but it cannot replace you. So don't think that a project manager would be replaced with AI. No, they can do some automatic task assignment and all those, but it cannot uh, replace a human. Okay, what people are worried is that after down the line, maybe 5, 10 years, there could be a mechanism in project management where no involvement is required and everything will be automated. No, it may not be possible. There are human intelligence which is certainly required. There could be some repetitive tasks, some prediction, some decision which can be derived from the data which has been captured as a part of project management, but it cannot be replaced by human. Any questions before we go ahead? Okay, can you share the fuzzy logic in various activity? Okay, so AI tools, I have captured one slide, Sasank sir, where I talked about two tools. Okay, we will discuss in upcoming slides. How tools like Jira, yes, Jira can be integrated with AI. So Jira, so I was talking about status. So what is name of that tool? It can easily integrate with Jira, and it takes care of like a bot type of thing where you can automatically put your status and it would be passed to the Jira. So yeah, there are plugins available, there are AI bots available which can take the status and directly update it in Jira. Devendra sir talked about, can you give the example of fuzzy logic in various activities? Yes. So fuzzy logic is something like based onto the actual data. It may not be just onto the intuition, right? So what happens when you use any tool, right? Generally, see, when I talked about ANN, fuzzy logic, and KBES, these are the technology which is used internally within the tool. You may not see that or you may not be implementing it, but see, depending on what type of use case you have, right, whether it needs ANN or fuzzy logic, the required algorithm is being inbuilt into the tool to serve your defined outcome. Okay, but fuzzy logic is something like we used to study in our what to say college days, that it needs some define. It cannot be based on intuition. It need to be based on some actual set of data, and it cannot be true false. It should be a numeric, right? So depending on that, or depending on that fundamentals of fuzzy logic, the required algorithm would be developed in AI and would be integrated with your tool so that you can get a desired outcome. Can AI predict whether a equipment, say exchanger on site, can be decommissioned? Can be decommissioned in what duration? If the data provided of design in AI predict whether equipment, say exchanger on site, can be commissioned. So I hope, Sailendra, so you are asking about some manufacturing thing right here. Yeah, so this is also can be done. I'm actually not getting this question completely, but what I assume is it is something related to the manufacturing side. So certainly there are multiple techniques to capture the data through IoT device and then apply AI on top of that to find out that maybe what could be the duration for machine to get repaired, what is the efficiency when the next servicing should be done. So all those things can be done also as a part of data analytics. Or tools like TFS can be integrated. Yeah, there are multiple tools, Rohit sir, which we can easily integrate. Okay, there are middleware. Yeah, there are multiple middleware also. Uh, you can use here. Any other Ketan sir questions before we go ahead?
No, I think you're looking at a chat window. 1 minute, there is a, I think, one or two questions in the QA window. Check it out. Can AI predict whether a equipment, say, exchanger on site, can be commissioned in what duration?
Yeah, yeah. So I have answered that. Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely it can be done. Okay, it can be done, Salendra sir. Okay, so let
How,
me go ahead now. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Any
There
other
is one
question?
question: how AI can help in ERP systems?
ERP.
Yes.
So see, ERP system is what will say is a process oriented system, right? So what you can do is you can automate some of the things in ERP system based on to your what will say AI algorithm. Something like if this event happens, you want to maybe so for example, right? So it's again maybe workflow. It could be a AI use case where consider if there is a what will say quotation of more than 500 rupees, it may go for 3 level approval. Or if it is like something vendor A, okay, which is like very renowned vendor, then in that case it might not go for the approval also. So all those type of implementation can be done in ERP. ERP is generally used for the data, what will say, ERP system is generally used as a source for machine learning because you pull the data from ERP system and then you generate multiple algorithm or insights on AI to get the desired outcome. Okay, so basically, ERP system is treated as a source for AI engine.
Okay. There is one more. How
Mhm.
much past data is required for better prediction?
Okay, very good questions, and there is no right and wrong answer. Okay, so generally, what happens? You should give as much as data possible, okay, for your testing and prediction, for testing of your model, okay, and generally how the split should be like 70% data should go for the testing and 30% data should go for the prediction. So consider if you have got 100 record as a source, 70 records you will push it for the training of the model, and once the model is trained, that 30 records you will send it and try to see the output, that whether the required output has been achieved with this test data set or not. If not, then you need to feed another set of source data to train your model with more accuracy. Okay, but to answer your question, uh, try to share or push as much as data possible for training your model with which covers most of the scenario. Okay, so it should not be just one scenario has been covered in that training data. No, then your model is just trained for one scenario. So try to maybe push the data in such a way that it covers maximum number of scenario and your model is trained according to that particular test data. Okay, we will go quickly
Uh,
now. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
any other question?
There is one question. In project management, AI helps only monitoring and control aspects, right? As well as risk, not scope of the project.
No, scope of the project would be defined, right? Otherwise, means how it can be automated. The scope of the project is something which needs a manual intervention. Okay, so it may not be open. It means this is something like which has been discussed, which has been agreed, which has been what will say put onto the paper, and once it has been agreed you can go ahead and you can automate what will say creating onto the plan, defining the risk, task allocation, resource management, all those things can be automated. But yeah, task what will say preparing the SOW, task definition and all those would be done manually.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
any
that's all. We can go ahead now.
yeah. So see, AI can monitor, as I told you, multiple things depending on the what is it generally what happens. You want to monitor the project performance, okay, and that's where you push the data which is coming from the what will say daily updates or the, what will say plan, project plan, and all those, and it can create an alert system also. It help you to create an alert system to track your deadline, productivity, risk, quality, resourcing. Okay, by monitoring those resources, you would be able to also answer a couple of questions, right? That whether I would be able to deliver this project on time or not. Because if your timeline or if you got an alert that that deadline of the project seems to be pushed and that is a risk, right? So what you can do is you can basically understand and you can ask that, okay, whether we will be able to make the project on delivered on time or not. Okay, whether I would be spilling over onto the budget. So all those type of things can also be answered when you set up an alert and monitoring system using AI by putting a predictability type of thing. So what all inputs may be required for that prediction is your timeline, your daily status, your quality assurance, and all those things. Once you push into your AI model, which can predict that whether you are going to spill over onto the budget, whether you are going to meet the timeline, all those things can be alerted to the end user based onto the prediction. Okay, one of the very important thing like which I think everybody should do is prepare yourself, your team, and your organization for AI disruption. Okay, because AI, as I told you, it's a technology which is going to be there. If it is not there today, 100% it will come in future, and it will going to automate the thing, it will going to improvise the thing, it can help you, or it can what will say hand hold the human to make the things better. Okay, so what you can do in order to prepare your team is it's a mindset change, because people who are coming from what is the project management side, they have the tendency to track everything onto the Excel, paper, or project management tool, right? So it also need for them to adapt this change, okay, and go into a mindset change, because it's a mindset change for them to leverage the AI related technology for project management, okay, and start thinking about the power of imagination, that how what all things can be done. So what are the changes you can anticipate, right? So it's not that, as I told you, right, that not 100% job will going to be replaced. Not more than 10 to 20% of our job would be replaced, because all those may be the repetitive work which can be replaced, okay. 100% of the job will not change for sure. As per PMI, 91% of the organizations are being impacted by disruptive technologies. Okay, so most of the companies are trying to leverage or are in process of leveraging the AI, cloud, data related technology. Okay, so what you need to do is you have to change your mindset. Okay, you have to embrace AI rather than fearing it. Okay, so don't go and fear that no, no, kya hoga, what will happen to my job and all those. Rather than try to adapt that change, try to change your mindset. Okay, what are the couple of secret sauce for AI? Okay, so basically I just captured it based on my input here. So what you can do is you can start leveraging the human creativity, right? So just try to uh, automate the risk, okay, be productive and create opportunity, okay. Let's think of entrepreneurship, okay, so have a creative spirit, see opportunity, take the ownership, and be very very flexible and open, okay, be very open to the change, okay, and don't think that, okay, this is something risking my job. No, it is augmenting your job, okay, and it is based onto the data which we have, okay. So if you have not captured that data, your prediction, your AI may not work accurately. So try to feed as much as accurate data possible to get the required prediction, okay. Moving forward, harness the power of AI to empower your role, okay. So use the power of AI definitely and transform your job. Okay, don't go that, don't fear or don't go into that route that no, no, what will happen to PM now, project management. No, with AI, it's your friend. Okay, it's enabling you to help and do the things better. It is augmenting you. It is not trying to do something extra. With the leverage or with the help of AI, basically what you are trying to do is you are trying to do the things in a better and easy and automated way. Okay, this is the power of the future project management. Okay, and this is something coming from PMI side. Okay, AI cannot be substitute of strategic and business management and leadership. Okay, it cannot substitute the project management skills. It can augment them. As I was saying, it can augment them by finding parameter, identifying dependencies, and forecasting the outcome. So please do not think that it is going to substitute you. It is basically enabling you or augmenting you. Okay. Uh, as long as you are continue to focus on improving your creativity into your personal skill, you should be fine now. Okay, so basically these are the three things which nobody can solve. Means like leadership skill, strategic and business management, and technical project management. That would still be there, but with AI, you can do some what will say augmentation. Okay, so AI would be your true friend, which can help you in initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing it. Okay, how it can help you is by analyzing and inciting couple of decision prediction during the planning. It will help you to track assumptions, create schedule, develop budgets. Okay, allocate the resources during closing. It will try to find out that, okay, whether it has been formally accepted or not. Okay, during monitoring, it will track your status, do the forecasting. It will help you to reduce the risk. Okay, during the execution, it will help you to find out that, okay, whether it is completed on time or not within the budget. So all those things would be able to track with the help of AI tools. These are a couple of AI specific tools which are available in project management, right? So I talked about two, but yeah, there are seven more also: Trilio, Jira, Joho, Podio, FreeCamp, Basecamp, Brick. So these are a couple of tools which are being used as far as AI is concerned into project management. I have talked about two specific tool, which is Straight Jaws. Okay, I was talking about that, right? It's a ML powered way where you can feed your what to say status, daily status in Slack, and automatically your Jira would be updated. Okay, it's basically focusing on estimating and budget. Okay, and it's a very data rich tool. Okay, companies have leveraged it to support for daily operations. Memo is another tool, which is another example. It is basically building between the some department and trying to deliver the challenges. Okay, so trying to bridge the gap between basically different departments. So you can leverage Memo also as one of the tool. Okay, any other questions? One thing very important to remember here: data is the currency of the future, and artificial intelligence is a science that uses technology to create magic. Okay, so you can do n number of things, you can do n number of different stuff using AI, and it is very interesting to see an actual working of AI. You have not thought of couple of different type of use cases which has been implemented in AI, which are quite unique. Okay, as far as project management is also concerned. Okay, augment human intelligence, do not eliminate. Okay, let's try to see how AI can help us to building companies more human. Okay, rather than just trying to use a machine, let's try to see how it can be helpful to make the technology more wider into the organization. Okay, couple of benefit as we talked about, right? You can do the automation of the repetitive tasks, use historical data to perform calculation and prediction. Okay, improve the accuracy, perform risk modeling, and what will say change of scope available resource. It help you also to increase the speed decision. Okay, decision making process would also be increased because initially you need to do look into the Excel manually, try to do some calculation, try to do some what will say research to come up and get that decision. But with the help of AI, it will readily give you the complete insight which can help you to take the decision. It will also optimize the resource scheduling and allocation as well. Okay, so the final conclusion for us to conclude this session is AI has been defined as a service that helps to assist the various perception. Okay, however, it cannot be what will say replaced by the human. Okay, as it cannot replace human. Okay, that is one of the very thing. Project management field is particularly so you will see most of the companies are trying to use these tools which I was talking about, right? Clarizen and all those. Okay, so AI is trying to help them. Okay, and trying at the same time it is also employing the limited resource available. So basically, I hope that in your organization also, if AI has not been explored into the project management, you should talk to your senior leadership team management and try to see if AI can also be leveraged as a part of project management by leveraging different tools. Okay, it also help you in enhancing the environment safely. Okay, and it also help you to develop a knowledge management ecosystem. It can be concluded finally that AI assist project manager in differing way of employing different tools for accomplishing different tasks. Okay, it is helping you, it is assisting you. So consider if you was taking maybe 20 hours to do some task, with the help of AI type of tool, it will help you to reduce that to maybe 8 hour or 5 hour type of thing. But it will not replace you, it will going to augment you. Okay, so with this final conclusion, I am thanking everyone of you who have participated in this webinar, and we will open this forum for the question. Any questions, anything you want to share? I'm very much open to. It is not open source, Sailendra sir. I think you need to purchase some license for stereo to yours. Do we need to learn AI in detail by project manager? No, you do not need to learn AI in detail. Just an overview would be fine, Dehuti. Okay, so just going through a high level, understanding the concept, okay, how the things can be automated. It may not be more than 2 to 3 days of session for you to learn the AI at high level. You actually will not going to develop anything, right? It's basically you would be using as a user point of view, right? So you do not need to go into the technology or technical detail of the thing. For first time user of AI in project management, which input data is used by tool. So you can provide what will say task status, you can provide the project plan, okay? And if it is a running project, if it is a new project, then you can just give the project plan. However, if it is a project which is already in progress, then you need to feed the project plan along with the project status and updates, daily updates. Let me see if what would be the tentative costing. Again, it depends. Generally, the costing starts from all these tools are generally SaaS-based tools. Okay, it depends on to the subscription and the usage, but it starts with minimum of $10 per month to depending on how many users you have in your company. Do we need special integration with? Yeah, so there are multiple tools and technology as far as integration is concerned, sir. So definitely, depending on what tools of choice you are going ahead with, you can integrate with required set of tools. But yeah, I definitely encourage everyone that you should go ahead and start using that in your company. Yeah, so I told you, right? Clarigen, then you have Trello, then you have Jira, you have Status jobs, right? So all those company would be very helpful. Do you have data repository of successful? Yeah, so there is one video onto the what will say YouTube which I was going through. Okay, so you can see AI implementation and with each tool they have listed out which company have used what tool for their AI based project management. What is the difference in output if we do a data? Okay, so see, Excel is just for maybe few sets of data thing, right? And it's a basically manual way to do that, right? And it may not be scalable enough when the things grow at a large scale, right? So that's where these tools would be very, very helpful and it help you to save some effort also. Excel is the old way of what will say traditional way to do the data analysis. Okay, it's not no more is being used maybe for wide range of project implementation. So definitely these tools, Cycles would help you to do a lot more than the Excel. So quickly, what I will do is maybe I will share my screen once again. I just want to demonstrate one example. May not be which relates to this context, but yes, sir. Ketan, sir, are you saying something to me?
No, no.
Okay.
Checking.
So what I will do is I will just try to show you how does the NLP and Vision AI works, right? So there are a couple of ready-made bots which are available into the market. Uh, Let me stop sharing. So I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes, natural language
Oh,
API demo.
correct. So see, this is a NLP API which are available, which is given by Google. It's an open API. What I did is I put some text here, okay, just to analyze this NLP API. Okay, how does it going to work? And once after putting this text, if I will do analyze, it will give me all the prediction, means whatever text I have posted it, it has gone, basically this API has enabled and tried to find out that what are the what will say inferences coming from this particular text. Google is an organization, this is a location, Sundar Pichai is a human, okay, users is a human, Android is a custom good. So all those things we were able to find it out, which is basically entities. Okay, if we'll go to sentiments, we will find the sentiment score. We will also find the syntax, and this is the categories. Okay, that what are the categories we are talking about. Okay, so this is one of the very, very popular API. Directly, you can leverage this API when you want to do something NLP, right? So something like if you want to interpret some text and derive some output on that text, you can use this API, which are readily available. The second API which I wanted to demonstrate is, I don't know why this is not going up. Yeah. So the second API which I wanted to demonstrate is again from Google. It is GCP. So you can drag any image here. I have downloaded one image here. Okay, so this is my image which I have uploaded here. Okay, this is again an API based thing. So it is interpreting this what will say basically this image. Okay, so see this what output you are getting. There are four faces. Okay, what are the probability of being joy, sorrow, anger? Okay, phase one, phase two, phase three, phase four, phase five. Okay, because there are five people, right? You can see this face is like little behind, but still that face has been recognized. What are the objects? They have some of the people are wearing glass. Yes, person, cert, person. Okay, there. What are the different labels which has been captured? So basically, these are the APIs which are readily available, which can be used across your project based on to the use cases. Okay, so I just wanted to share this, thought to have some quick insight that how does machine learning works. Cool. Any other questions before we conclude this session? Can AI predict whether, okay, I don't think any new questions. Let me see in chat window also.
Yeah, I don't see any questions, no questions there.
Do we have the repository of successful projects? Yeah, I talked about that. Can you recommend any company which is providing? So there are multiple companies I told, right? So Clarizen, I used it in what will say HSBC. They also is very, very powerful as far as AI is concerned with project management. Any other questions, folks, over the call? I am very happy to answer if you have any questions out of AI, data, machine learning, cloud, anything. Maybe we can have, if folks are interested, we can have one session for cloud as well.
Sure, Mr. Murari, we look forward to that. But I think I would request you to switch on your video if possible for next
Yeah, definitely. Sorry. Okay,
last
I missed it.
few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I missed it. I think when I joined second time,
Okay,
I
no
forgot
problem.
to.
Means all this time we were watching the presentation, but maybe people would like to see you on video
No
while you're
problem. Sure.
answering. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot for the
definitely.
wonderful session. I think we have learned a lot on AI, and also we are able to relate to AI with project management today. As you mentioned that we'll definitely schedule one session on cloud computing and make use
Sure,
of
sure.
your knowledge. Okay.
Definitely. I think there's one question from Anil sir. Which certification
Right.
will help PM, DS, and AI? So see, there are no as such certification which is very specific to data science or AI. But yeah, there are a couple of open certifications which are like you can go ahead and do some Udemy courses and all those. Okay. There are a couple of what will say industry wise courses which can be also you can participate or you can go ahead with like which is 6 month, 8 month or 1 year type of course specifically on AI and machine learning if you want to switch into that particular what will say area. So there are multiple companies like Analytics Vidya, Brad. So I am actively, as I told you, right, taking the session for upgrade folks also. So they also have a very good curriculum, analytics with there are multiple more institutes also which are offering the postgraduate diploma in data science. So yeah, there are multiple different platforms. But for basic thing, you can go ahead with Udemy or all those type of simple courses, which is like 2 hours, 4 hour type of session to get the basic understanding of AI and machine learning.
Okay, I think we'll go for vote of thanks. Thanks a lot for this wonderful session. And on behalf of PMI Mumbai chapter, we would like to present certificate to you. Let me
Thank
just
you.
become a presenter and uh, show the certificate.
Feel free to connect me over the LinkedIn, ask any questions if you have maybe in future. Okay, so I'm very active on LinkedIn, so maybe you can always connect me over the LinkedIn and feel free to ask questions in case of any.
Just give me time. This. So please accept this certificate as a token of appreciation from PMI Mumbai chapter. And thanks a lot for your time and for
Thank you very
knowledge
much.
sharing.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And thanks for inviting me, sir, here, Ketan sir and Gary sir. Definitely looking forward for many more sessions. By any way, if I can be helpful to anyone also, I'm looking forward for guidance and for whatever help you need. I'm very open. And this is my email ID also. Again, I'm pinging it onto the chat window. You can capture it. Okay, in case you need any help, you can drop me a note as well. Okay, and my LinkedIn profile link also I will quickly ping once.
And some announcement for all the participants. We are recording this video, this webinar. I think there was a request from someone whether we are recording. So for your information, we are recording it and we'll make it available on YouTube after 2 days. Okay. By Tuesday, you should see it on the YouTube PMI Mumbai chapter channel, where we have also posted earlier webinars in a video form. You can go through them if you have missed today's session. Only thing is you will not be able to claim PDUs for that. But for today's session, you'll be able to claim PDUs. That is the 2 PDUs. And for claiming your PDUs, we'll be sending you mailer. And along with mailer, we'll be also sending you link for providing feedback on this. So please provide your feedback and you can claim your PDUs using that link, which we'll be giving you in that mailer. One question for Mr. Murari. I think today's session will be in what category out of those 3 categories under which we have to assign PDUs?
What are those 3 categories?
Technical, leadership, and strategy.
It will be under technical.
Technical. Okay, fine. So 2 PDUs under technical will be assigned to you once you put your claim, and we'll be putting these details in our email. So please give your feedback and claim PDUs using that. Right? I think.
Yeah, and definitely I'm looking forward for your feedback, team. Okay, if there is some improvement, something which I can do better, definitely feel free to share it with me. And looking forward to speak you once again, which is on my favorite subject, which is cloud computing. I'm very much passionate and excited to speak on that topic as well.
Okay, so thanks. We are ending the session now. Thanks a lot again, Mr. Murari, for your wonderful session and your time.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you.